my appearance is important to me. I mean, I look in the mirror and my neck was joined to my chest, and I just felt really, really bad about myself.
I had been through a couple really bad years, and I aged so dramatically. I was just feeling terrible about the way I was looking, and I knew I needed to do something.
I had been feeling old for a while, I think, just due to the stresses that I had been under. I had felt old, and I had felt like I had lost myself.
I heard about the SwiftLIFT, went in, it was fantastic, it was easy, it was simple. I felt like $1,000,000. Smartest thing I ever did.
The SwiftLIFT has been more than just a cosmetic procedure for me. Now I feel like I match the good me inside because the outside looks the same.
It really has been life-changing. It's only been 5 weeks, but just life-changing in the way I feel. I just feel better.
Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Real people, real stories, real lives, changed for the better, and all because of the revolutionary new SwiftLIFT. Hi, I'm Gretchen Jensen, and I know just how these people feel. I was there too. You see, back in 1989, I was fortunate enough to be crowned Miss Texas and then went on to win the Miss USA pageant. The next year, I finished up as second runner-up in the Miss Universe pageant. But all of that was just the beginning. These great moments actually paved the way for a career as an anchor at ESPN and ABC, as well as ongoing work as a professional model. Well, those were the good old days. After 23 years and 5 kids, I started seeing sagging skin and little lines I didn't have when I was younger. Of course, I try to take care of myself. I eat right and I work out. But at some point, I realized there were some things I couldn't do on my own. I realized I needed more than a good routine. I needed a great doctor. That's when I met Dr. Drake Vincent and quickly discovered just how talented and unique he is. So join me and discover the amazing secrets of the all-new SwiftLIFT.
One day I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I thought, you're old. When did this happen? I was shocked. I'm old, I've got these sagging things on my face. Where did that come from? And then I looked down and I felt like the little jaws were drooping down, and I hated it. I hated it. And I wanted to do something right then. I said, enough is enough.
I've always been a happy person, outgoing and everything, but it's not on the inside. Now it's on the inside.
You just don't have to age gracefully. I decided about 3 years ago that every day I was going to get younger rather than older.
The procedure was so simple, and I didn't do it. My husband didn't care if I had it done or not. My friends didn't care if I had it done or not, but I cared. Because when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I was seeing. So I felt good, but I didn't look good. Not to me. I lost something over those really tough couple years, and it's the best thing that I've ever done for myself, honestly.
I'm in my 50s now, and I actually can say I look like I'm in my 40s now.
I was not interested in the cheapest. I was not interested in the fastest. I was interested in what was the best, and the best for me was the SwiftLIFT.
For the last 25 to 30 years, my life has been one where I'm really aware, consciously aware, because it's part of my living, of how I look. And part of that drives me crazy, because I just don't care how I look sometimes, but other times how I look is imperative. My neck was droopy. I had some jowl lines coming in. I had loose skin where I don't like loose skin. And you know, I want to look younger. For me, it's incredibly important because of this television game that I'm in, being on camera all the time. And I was excited to find out that there was a solution, and a solution that I was comfortable with, and that was SwiftLIFT. So I've had my SwiftLIFT, and you know what? I feel fantastic. In fact, the results are maybe better than I thought. Not only do I look better, but I feel better. There was no pain, quick recovery. I don't feel like I had this facial procedure done. There's no doubt that I had some reservations going into this because I make my living on camera. It had to look good. It had to look natural. Well, it does. I feel that it looks completely natural, and I feel better than I felt maybe in 20 years. So this was a good decision for me, and most importantly, for me, I think it extended my career in television by at least 10 years.
The more I researched, the more I realized there are a lot of differences between the SwiftLIFT and all those other facelift type procedures out there. After checking out a lot of those other procedures, I decided that if I wanted to look and feel my best, then the SwiftLIFT was the only choice for me. So I went to the man who created and perfected the new SwiftLIFT, Dr. Drake Vincent.
As a cosmetic surgeon, I was always searching for a better way. My traditional training gave me traditional facelifts. I did all types of facelifts. And what I came up with is what I felt was the very best way to reduce downtime, make it safer for the patients, make it more affordable, but at the same time, we've created even better results. The traditional facelift typically has somewhere around 10 steps. The new SwiftLIFT has anywhere between 6, 7, maybe 8 steps. And those steps mean faster recovery times.
There's a huge difference in the recovery time between the normal facelift and the SwiftLIFT.
I worked full-time, so I didn't have a lot of time to take off, and it was perfect for my schedule. I had it done on a Thursday, and I was back in my office on Wednesday. That's how simple the procedure was.
I was in full form within 3 weeks. It was fascinating.
I'm a nurse and I did extensive research, and the recovery time was really important to me because I'm a busy person. I work a lot of hours, and SwiftLIFT, one day I looked great. I know it's hard to believe, but it was amazing. Then 2 weeks, I was in the public eye after 3 days, believe it or not. And I could tell the difference after 1 day, and that made a big difference to me.
The new SwiftLIFT is a revolutionary outpatient procedure that mirrors a traditional facelift, only it's quicker and less invasive. Less time in surgery usually means less time for recovery. SwiftLIFT is a surgical procedure which uses a minimal access incision in front of the ear to tighten the lower face and neck skin using a combination of muscle tightening sutures. This allows for a long-lasting lifting of the tissue of the mid-face. Other lifts that you may see advertised typically reach a much smaller portion of the face, while the new SwiftLIFT is able to affect a much larger portion of the face. A SwiftLIFT simply does more than so many of the other procedures being advertised today. The new SwiftLIFT is not a mini facelift which tightens the skin only. While many facelifts and other procedures being advertised today release only 1 to 2 of the major facial retaining ligaments, a SwiftLIFT procedure has the ability to release the 4 major facial retaining ligaments of the face. This allows our doctors to tighten and reposition more of the face and neck. In addition to the new SwiftLIFT, Vincent Surgical Centers also provide a wide range of procedures administered by board-certified cosmetic surgeons and tailored to meet your needs. You know, if you're like me, then how we look helps how we feel. And let me tell you, the new SwiftLIFT has helped me look and feel better.
I remember my mom saying to me, Gretchen, the first sign of aging that people will notice is your neck. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks, Mom. I'm pretty darn sure I can't do anything about that. So I'm always, when I'm doing a photo, I always have to think, where are the tendons? Where is my chin? Where's my profile, so that I am not in a way that gives away, you know, my age. When I learned about the SwiftLIFT, I'm like, I can fix my neck. I can finally go out, because I have to compete with 30-year-olds. I'm 46. I have to compete with 30-year-olds in this job market. And my neck is the giveaway, just like good old Mom said. So now, with my SwiftLIFT coming up, I don't have to worry about my neck anymore. I can actually go out there and worry about other things I have to compete with. But I am more than thrilled to have a better neck than my 30-year-old competition and my 38-year-old friends.
And now I do. Every time I look in the mirror, I know I made the right choice. I love the results from my SwiftLIFT, and you can look and feel better too. Contact any of the new SwiftLIFT surgery centers for a personal consultation with a board-certified facial cosmetic surgeon to discuss your needs, your concerns, and the end result you're looking for. You can see what it's done for me. Before I had the new SwiftLIFT, I had sagging, drooping skin, especially in my neck. But after having the SwiftLIFT, no more sagging, no more drooping. I love it. And what's really great is I got the results I wanted because the SwiftLIFT is not a one-size-fits-all. It's a highly customizable procedure.
All of our doctors are committed to achieving the most individual, best results for each patient.
When I had called the center and I came down, I actually talked to the doctor and I found him very caring, very personable. He was very concerned about my needs.
When I first met with my doctor at the SwiftLIFT clinic, he was very kind, very honest, and he made me feel very comfortable. And he brought me in and sat me down and talked to me to find out a little about me and how I felt and what I wanted to feel like. And he said, you have to remember, I'm not a magician, I'm just an MD, but I can help you and make you feel better. But he was a magician to me.
One of the main reasons I went into cosmetic surgery was that I myself am an artist, and I love to be able to manipulate and change things, nip and tuck things to make people look better.
My doctor wanted to know what I wanted, what my expectations were, and we discussed everything, never pushed me one way or the other, and agreed with what I thought I needed to have done. He actually did totally agree with it and thought I would actually have better results than I was even expecting. And he was right.
I was a little concerned about the pain part of it because I'm not a big fan of hurting. And when I came into the office that morning, I was very calm. He and his staff made me feel so calm that he just put aside all those fears. And when I woke up, I was waiting for pain. I never had any, and that is the truth.
The SwiftLIFT is not a one-size-fits-all. It's not a skin-only technique. It's not a mini facelift. It is a facelift that is a variation of a traditional facelift. And every one of our doctors can customize the SwiftLIFT to each individual face. And we also take that very seriously at our SwiftLIFT centers.
I remember when I decided to have a SwiftLIFT, it was just after I had some previous surgery that was done in Toronto. And I wanted to actually continue the process. Everything I was doing was making me look younger and younger and younger, but the problem was my lower face. I had jowling, I had a lot of extensive neck fat and laxity under my chin. It made me look 10 years older than I really was, and I actually feel a lot younger than that. So I did some research online and I came across a SwiftLIFT center. I called, made an appointment, and basically the whole procedure just went from there.
I had actually had a friend say to me that the bottom half of my face didn't match the top half of my face. And I had noticed the sagging and the drooping and the jawline that starts to blur as we get a little older. And I don't mind getting older. I don't mind being 58. Time marches forward. I just don't want it marching across my face.
My appearance is important to me. I mean, I look in the mirror and before I had it done, my neck was joined to my chest and I just felt really, really bad about myself. So this is why I wanted the SwiftLIFT, and I look in the mirror now and I just feel so good. And I know the rest of my body's going to feel good because I've been overweight all my life. And now I'm starting to lose weight because of this, because I look in the mirror.
I went into cosmetic surgery because I wanted to change people's lives. We want people to feel better, and that's what the SwiftLIFT centers will do for them.
For me, having the SwiftLIFT was the best decision I had ever made in my life. When I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, it's still me. It's just a younger looking me, a more refreshed appearance. That really energizes me. I have a lot more confidence when I go out and I'm meeting people. I could see the difference from before the procedure to when I had the procedure later, how much different people actually relate to me, how they look at me, smiles, opportunities, especially people in a younger age group. And that was the huge difference, a major difference.
The SwiftLIFT has totally changed my life. I feel so much younger, and I act younger. I look in the mirror and see a whole different person, and I'm excited to get ready in the mornings, and I feel like it's changed my mental attitude as well as my physical appearance.
Life can be hard, and it takes a toll on us. It really does sometimes. And having something that can help bring you back to who you are, feeling like I've recaptured who I was maybe 15 years ago when things were a little easier. I just want to be the best looking 58-year-old I can be.
I would look in the mirror and say, this is what I want. My husband didn't even care, but I wanted it for me. I feel so much better having it done.
I've had professional doctors that I've gone into and say, what have you done, CJ? You look absolutely fabulous. I give him his card. Send your wife, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. And it's a God's truth.
And isn't that the most important thing? Feeling refreshed and alive. You know, as my friends and I have been growing older, I've heard some of them say, I just feel invisible or irrelevant. It's amazing how much one simple procedure can change your outlook on life, can change the way you look and feel.
When I learned about the SwiftLIFT, I'm like, I can fix my neck. I can finally go out, because I have to compete with 30-year-olds. I'm 46. I have to compete with 30-year-olds in this job market. But I am more than thrilled to have a better neck than my 30-year-old competition and my 38-year-old friends.
Once I made the decision to get that new lease on life, I wasn't interested in the cheapest procedure or the fastest procedure. I was looking for the best procedure, and I feel I found it with the new SwiftLIFT.
The new SwiftLIFT is a revolutionary outpatient procedure that mirrors a traditional facelift, only it's quicker and less invasive. Less time in surgery usually means less time for recovery. SwiftLIFT is a surgical procedure which uses a minimal access incision in front of the ear to tighten the lower face and neck skin using a combination of muscle tightening sutures. This allows for a long-lasting lifting of the tissue of the mid-face. Other lifts that you may see advertised typically reach a much smaller portion of the face, while the new SwiftLIFT is able to affect a much larger portion of the face. A SwiftLIFT simply does more than so many of the other procedures being advertised today. The new SwiftLIFT is not a mini facelift which tightens the skin only. While many facelifts and other procedures being advertised today release only 1 to 2 of the major facial retaining ligaments, a SwiftLIFT procedure has the ability to release the 4 major facial retaining ligaments of the face. This allows our doctors to tighten and reposition more of the face and neck. In addition to the new SwiftLIFT, Vincent Surgical Centers also provide a wide range of procedures administered by board-certified cosmetic surgeons and tailored to meet your needs.
There are simply so many reasons why the new SwiftLIFT may be the right choice for you. Contact any of the new SwiftLIFT surgery centers for a personal consultation with a board-certified facial cosmetic surgeon to discuss your needs, your concerns, and the end result you're looking for.
Hi, my name is CJ. I was born in Yakima. I was raised on a small farm in Missouri. At 59 and a half, I decided I was going to become a flight attendant. I was lucky enough to get hired. And then you start looking in the mirror and you don't look so young anymore. I feel really young inside. And I thought, I'm going to do something. So I heard about the SwiftLIFT, went in, it was fantastic. It was easy, it was simple. I felt like $1,000,000. Smartest thing I ever did.
Gee, about 3 years ago, I was like 360 pounds. And just way, way bigger than I wanted to be. So I decided to have a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. I lost all this weight. I was told I'd have a kind of a turkey neck, which I really didn't want to have. And that's when I found out about the SwiftLIFT. Perfect candidate, obviously. And I think it's about 2 weeks later, I had the operation. It was like a piece of cake. I'd like to think that I did pretty good research, that I've been in the medical field for some time. I have pretty good connections to be able to do the research, and I know that all doctors are not the same. So in the research I found out, I mean, the SwiftLIFT just comes to the top. I'm pushing 60 years old, but I think I look like I did in my 40s, maybe better.
I love seeing these stories, and there are hundreds more just like them. Stories of how the new SwiftLIFT has changed people's lives, helped them feel more alive, happier, younger. Of course, everyone knows there are other options out there, so make sure to do your homework. As the saying goes, compare apples to apples. For instance, other lifts being advertised may actually take place in a medical office. When you choose the new SwiftLIFT, your surgery is always performed in accredited surgery centers by board-certified facial cosmetic surgeons. Did you know that some of the other procedures are actually performed under local anesthesia? Well, not with the new SwiftLIFT. With the new SwiftLIFT, all procedures are done under IV anesthesia. And some of the other procedures out there are advertised and promoted done in less than 60 minutes. That's not the philosophy with a SwiftLIFT. SwiftLIFT surgeons don't time their procedures. They take the time to do each one right. Dr. Drake Vincent is the cosmetic surgeon that created and trademarked the new SwiftLIFT. And as I found out, the name SwiftLIFT is not about the length of time it takes to do the procedure. Rather, the name symbolizes the advances that he's perfected over many years and almost 1,800 patients.
The SwiftLIFT is a lot like a traditional facelift, except this is why it's different. The incisions are slightly smaller, the under the muscle techniques are slightly different, and after doing close to 1,500 of these types of facelifts, I really feel this is the best facelift for any type of individual.
I've been thinking about this for 10 years. 10 years getting some kind of lift done, a facelift, and I talked to many surgeons because I'm a nurse, and I have the opportunity to research doctors and talk about facelifts, and I still had this thing inside of me that said, maybe next year. And I'm 50 right now. And I had lunch with my girlfriend. I said, geez, you look so great. And she's a year younger than me. Have you done anything? And she goes, I had a SwiftLIFT. And I go, you're kidding. That's what I'm going to do. And I am so glad that I did it. I feel 10 years younger, and I look 10 years younger. It's the most awesome thing I've ever done, and I wish I would have done it sooner. Look at my before pictures and look at me now. There's the proof. Can't get any better than that.
For the first time in a long time, I feel like a good person inside now. Now I feel like I match the good me inside because the outside looks the same.
I couldn't agree more. I love my new SwiftLIFT. I think I look better, and I know I feel better. So now the question is, are you a good candidate? And should you consider the new SwiftLIFT? Well, consider this. If you look in the mirror and immediately notice deep lines around your mouth, jowls, or that sagging skin under your chin, you're a candidate. If your friends and coworkers start saying, you look like you need a vacation, but you just took one, you're a candidate. In short, if you simply want to look like you did 10 to 15 years ago, or just want to fight back against the aging process, you're a candidate. Life often comes at us fast, and before you know it, days have turned into weeks, and months have turned into years, and one day you may wake up like I did and say, where did all those years go, and how did I get so old? Well, I didn't like it, And while life is still busy and time still seems to fly by, I feel I've gotten a lot of those years back with the new SwiftLIFT.
I'm 52 years old, and after having the SwiftLIFT done, I feel like it took 10 years off. And judging from the reaction of people, from my doctor to my dentist to my nail gal, they think I look 42 as well, which is just pretty neat.
I'm 50, but now that I have my SwiftLIFT, I look like I'm in my 30s, or maybe 40s.
You know, I'm pushing 60 years old, but I think I look like I did in my 40s, maybe better.
I feel and I look 40 again, that I think. And my husband thinks, and that's important to me. That is very important to me.
I was 63 when I had my SwiftLIFT, and I feel like I'm in my 30s. I feel fabulous.
It's the most awesome thing I've ever done, and I wish I would have done it sooner.
If anyone is out there who's even thinking of having something like this done, think about it and take action and do it, and go find out for yourself. You have everything to gain, a whole new world to open up to yourself. Don't put it off. You'll be a lot happier and you'll feel good, you'll look good, life gets better. It always gets better.
The results speak for themselves.
If you'd like to look and feel your best, if you'd like to look like you did years ago, or if life has just taken its toll on you and you want to do something about it, contact any of our SwiftLIFT surgery centers for a personal consultation with a board-certified facial cosmetic surgeon to discuss your needs, your concerns, and the end result you're looking for. Don't wait any longer to see what a difference the new SwiftLIFT can mean to you. SwiftLIFT helps you be your best, so contact SwiftLIFT today.